And this goes back to my high school US history teacher. He said something to me that was a 4-word sentence that has stuck with me my entire life. I don't think he even realized how much of a profound effect it had on me. But he told me, uh, belief is a choice. And that always kind of lived rent free in my head because I tried to understand what he meant by that. And what I gathered is that we will never have total, irrefutable, evidential truth of anything, really, like whether God exists or not, and or any other truth, sub-truth that comes out of those two. Because that's really the one truth that underlies every other truth, is whether God exists or not. And so the belief in God, or the believing in no God, is a choice to be made by an individual person. So as a pragmatic thinker, like I told you before, I think of ideas in terms of how what's their value to me, like or the value of an idea is how applicable and practical it is to me. And so I have these two options. I can choose to believe that God doesn't exist, which means that I believe in a world that has no inherent meaning. There is no true purpose. We are just descendants from apes, and we are just the next step of evolution. And we are just kind of meandering, blindly in the dark, trying to achieve heaven, godhood, and utopia through the brute force of technology.
Yeah.
Or I can choose to believe that God does exist, which means that all of creation finds its source in love, in goodness, and everything that belief stems from, so that human life is sacred and has value, and humans are a hypostatic person, so they're union of body and soul. So they're more than just a bag of mostly water, flesh popsicle
Yes.
or whatever, meat popsicle. Um, and so choosing to believe in that God exists is the presupposition of every other belief, and how you respond to things like, hey, Elon Musk wants to put a chip in your brain to, whatever, enhance your thinking, cure Alzheimer's, whatever the advertisement is, for the day. Um, and you see that most people are choosing, like, most people are going to accept the mark of the beast, right? That's kind of a matter of fact, right? And that's because most people are operating on a presupposition that God doesn't exist, and that are operating in a nihilistic mindset subconsciously, whether or not they express religiosity or not. Like, they may say, I'm a Christian and I believe in God and whatever, but then their actions and their thoughts and their way of life indicates otherwise, right? So it comes down to a choice. And if you want to believe that God does exist, you have to choose to act in a way that makes that true, right? So that means that I respect my fellow man because I see the image of God in them, and I act charitably because again, there's image of God in my fellow man, and it's my duty as a Christian to give alms, and to help and to uplift and to spread the gospel and the good word, and all those things.